Hello family and friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna and thanks for being here today on this terrific Tuesday. Today is September 16th and I hope you're having a great day so far. And if not, I sure hope it gets better. All right, my friends, let's say a really quick prayer and we'll talk about what we're going to read today. Lord, thank you for every single soul who can hear my voice. Please give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to gain some insight from your text that we can use in our lives today. In Jesus' precious name, amen. All right, friends. Well, according to our chronological Bible reading, we are going to read Ezra 9 and 10, and we're going to start the book of Nehemiah today and read chapters 1 and 2. So here's a little preview of our reading today. Ezra chapter 9 describes Ezra's reaction to the intermarriages of the Jewish people, including the leaders and priests with the surrounding idolatrous nations. The sins of their forefathers is being repeated. And remember, this is the small remnant that actually survived 70 years of Babylonian captivity that swore that they would just love the Lord and follow all his commands. And here they are intermarrying, which is one of the downfalls of their forefathers, because when they intermarried, they started worshiping idols, which is the custom of the surrounding nations. So Ezra was distraught, to say the least. He was so distraught and ashamed. He tore off his clothes. He wept. He is very affected by this. And then Ezra chapter 10, we see details the Jews' massive public repentance and for the intermarrying with the foreign women. And it's one of the priests proposed a divorce. So like, let's divorce or put our wives away. So it described this 3-day assembly and this investigation. So it identifies every single person from each tribe who intermarried. And it also said that some of the women had already had kids. So this is going to be something to follow. Very interesting how they're going to divorce these women and put away their wives and their children from the adulterous nations. Interesting. I can't wait to read on and see what happens there. And then Nehemiah, the first chapter. Nehemiah is a cupbearer for the Persian king Artaxerxes, and he heard from his brother that the gates of Jerusalem have been broken down and destroyed by fire. And this made Nehemiah very sad. And so while he was working for the king, he's like, "What's wrong? Why are you so sad? What's going on with you?" And he told him about the gates of Jerusalem. And he also asked the king if he could return to Jerusalem, because I assume he's in Babylon, considering that he's the cupbearer for the Babylonian king, the king of Persia. So he's like, yeah, you can go back and rebuild the gates. So he gave him a pass, wrote some letters so nobody tries to, hem him up along his journey. And then chapter 2, Nehemiah secretly surveyed the damage of the Jerusalem temple gates. So it just described this covert night mission where he's going to all four sides of the gates, all four, four sides, inspecting each gate and making notes so that he knows what he's supposed to, how he's going to prepare or repair. And then he, of course, faced some opposition. There's always some haters involved. And so these two men, Sanballat and Tobiah, was mentioned specifically. So those are two names to watch to see what happens there. All right, friends. Well, that's our reading today. That's a little preview. I hope you enjoy the reading. I did prepare a video for you. I hope you like it. And before you go, I have a couple of quick birthday shout outs. My dear friend Melanie, her son William has a birthday. Happy birthday, William. My friend Kathy, she celebrated Mrs. Lee's 90th birthday with her. And I don't know who she is to Kathy, but I'm assuming she's someone very special. And I just had to wish her a happy birthday as well. Happy birthday, Mrs. Lee. I mean, anybody who turns 90, right? You better celebrate that. My good friend, Mr. C, his dad had a birthday today, has a birthday today. Wow, his sister just had a birthday the other day, and now dad. All right, happy birthday, Mr. C's family, and Mr. C's dad, Alberto. And then lastly, but not least, my sweet, I'm gonna call her daughter-in-law. So Sheree, she turns 24. Her sister is marrying my son, so she would be what, my sister? I don't know. She's just a sweet person, and she's family. So happy birthday, Sheree. I'm not gonna worry about the in-law title. We're family. All right, friends. Well, that's all I have today. Go and enjoy the rest of your terrific Tuesday, and if the Lord allows, come back tomorrow so we can read again. All right, be blessed. Bye. Ezra chapter 9. Ezra prays about intermarriage. After these things had been done, the officials approached me and said, "The people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the peoples of the lands with their abominations from the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken some of their daughters to be wives for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy race has mixed itself with the peoples of the lands. And in this faithlessness, the hand of the officials and chief men has been foremost." As soon as I heard this, I tore my garment and my cloak and pulled hair from my head and beard and sat appalled. Then all who trembled at the words of the God of Israel because of the faithlessness of the returned exiles gathered around me while I sat appalled until the evening sacrifice. And at the evening sacrifice, I rose from my fasting with my garment and my cloak torn and fell upon my knees and spread out my hands to the Lord my God, saying, "O my God, I am ashamed and blush to lift my face to you, my God, for our iniquities have risen higher than our heads, and our guilt has mounted up to the heavens. From the days of our fathers to this day we have been in great guilt, and for our iniquities we, our kings and our priests, have been given into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, to plundering, and to utter shame, as it is today. But now, for a brief moment, favor has been shown by the Lord our God to leave us a remnant and to give us a secure hold within his holy place, that our God may brighten our eyes and grant us a little reviving in our slavery. For we are slaves, yet our God has not forsaken us in our slavery, but has extended to us his steadfast love before the kings of Persia, to grant us some reviving, to set up the house of our God, to repair its ruins, and to give us protection in Judea and Jerusalem. And now, O our God, what shall we say after this? For we have forsaken your commandments, which you commanded by your servants the prophets, saying, the land that you are entering to take possession of it is a land impure with the impurity of the peoples of the lands, with their abominations that have filled it from end to end with their uncleanness. Therefore, do not give your daughters to their sons, neither take their daughters for your sons, and never seek their peace or prosperity, that you may be strong and eat the good of the land and leave it for an inheritance to your children forever. And after all that has come upon us for our evil deeds and for our great guilt, seeing that you, our God, have punished us less than our iniquities deserved, and have given us such a remnant as this, shall we break your commandments again and intermarry with the peoples who practice these abominations? Would you not be angry with us until you consume us? so that there should be no remnant, nor any to escape? O Lord, the God of Israel, you are just, for we are left a remnant that has escaped, as it is today. Behold, we are before you in our guilt, for none can stand before you because of this. Ezra chapter 10. The people confessed their sin. While Ezra prayed and made confession, weeping and casting himself down before the house of God, a very great assembly of men, women, and children gathered to him out of Israel, for the people wept bitterly. And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, of the sons of Elam, addressed Ezra. We have broken faith with our God and have married foreign women from the peoples of the land. But even now there is hope for Israel in spite of this. Therefore let us make a covenant with our God to put away all these wives and their children according to the counsel of my Lord and of those who tremble at the commandment of our God, and let it be done according to the law. Arise, for it is your task, and we are with you. Be strong and do it. Then Ezra arose and made the leading priests and Levites and all Israel take an oath that they would do as had been said. So they took the oath. Then Ezra withdrew from before the house of God and went to the chamber of Jehohanan, the son of Eliashib, where he spent the night, neither eating bread nor drinking water, for he was mourning over the faithlessness of the exiles. And a proclamation was made throughout Judah and Jerusalem to all the returned exiles that they should assemble at Jerusalem, and that if anyone did not come within 3 days by order of the officials and the elders, all his property should be forfeited, and he himself banned from the congregation of the exiles. Then all the men of Judah and Benjamin assembled at Jerusalem within the 3 days. It was the 9th month, on the 20th day of the month. And all the people sat in the open square before the house of God, trembling because of this matter and because of the heavy rain. And Ezra the priest stood up and said to them, You have broken faith and married foreign women, and so increased the guilt of Israel. Now then make confession to the Lord, the God of your fathers, and do his will. Separate yourselves from the peoples of the land and from the foreign wives. Then all the assembly answered with a loud voice, It is so. We must do as you have said. But the people are many, and it is a time of heavy rain. We cannot stand in the open, nor is this a task for 1 day or for 2, for we have greatly transgressed in this matter. Let our officials stand for the whole assembly. Let all in our cities who have taken foreign wives come at appointed times, and with them the elders and judges of every city, until the fierce wrath of our God over this matter is turned away from us. Only Jonathan, the son of Asahel, and Jahaziah, the son of Tikvah, opposed this, and Meshullam and Shabbethai, the Levites, supported them. Then the returned exiles did so. Ezra the priest selected men, heads of fathers' houses, according to their fathers' houses, each of them designated by name. On the first day of the 10th month, they sat down to examine the matter, and by the first day of the first month, they had come to the end of all the men who had married foreign women, those guilty of intermarriage. Now there were found some of the sons of the priests who had married foreign women, Maaseiah, Eleazar, Jarib, and Gedaliah, some of the sons of Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and his brothers. They pledged themselves to put away their wives, and their guilt offering was a ram of the flock for their guilt. Of the sons of Immer, Hanani and Zebediah. Of the sons of Haram, Maaseiah, Elijah, Shemaiah, Jehiel, and Uzziah. Of the sons of Pashhur, Elionai, Maasei, Ishmael, Nethanel, Jozabad, and Elisah. Of the Levites, Jozabad, Shimi, Keliah, Pethiah, Judah, and Elazar. Of the singers, Elishib. Of the gatekeepers, Shallum, Telem, and Uri. And of Israel, of the sons of Parosh, Ramiah, Isaiah, Malachai, Mijamin, Eleazar, Hashabiah, and Benaiah. Of the sons of Elam, Mattaniah, Zechariah, Jehiel, Abdi, Jeremoth, and Elijah. Of the sons of Zattu, Elionai, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Jeremoth, Zabad, and Ezai. Of the sons of Bebai were Jehohanan, Hananiah, Zabbai, and Athli. Of the sons of Bani were Meshullam, Malach, Adiah, Jashhub, Sheol, and Jeremoth. Of the sons of Pahath Moab, Adnah, Chila, Benaiah, Masei, Mattaniah, Bezalel, Binu, and Manasseh. Of the sons of Harim, Elazar, Issachar, Malachijah, Shemaiah, Shimeon, Benjamin, Malach, and Shemariah. Of the sons of Hashem, Mattanai, Mattanathah, Zabad, Eliphalet, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimi. Of the sons of Bani, Madai, Amram, Uel, Benaiah, Bediah, Shilai, Vani, Meroth, Elishib, Mattaniah, Mattanai, Jesu. Of the sons of Beni, Shimei, Shelemiah, Nathan, Adiah, Malchanadebai, Sheshai, Sherai, Azareel, Shelemiah, Shemariah, Shalom, Amariah, and Joseph. Of the sons of Nebu, Jael, Mattaniah, Zabed, Zabina, Jaddai, Joel, and Benaiah. All these had married foreign women, and some of the women had even borne children. Nehemiah chapter 1. Report from Jerusalem. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. Now it happened in the month of Chislev, in the 20th year, as I was in Susa the citadel, that Hanani, one of my brothers, came with certain men from Judah. And I asked them concerning the Jews who escaped, who had survived the exile, and concerning Jerusalem. And they said to me, the remnant there in the province who had survived the exile is in great trouble and shame. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down, and its gates are destroyed by fire. Nehemiah's prayer. As soon as I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned for days, and I continued fasting and praying before the God of heaven. And I said, O Lord God of heaven, the great and awesome God who keeps covenant and steadfast love with those who love him and keep his commandments, let your ear be attentive and your eyes open to hear the prayer of your servant, that I now pray before you day and night for the people of Israel, your servants, confessing the sins of the people of Israel, which we have sinned against you. Even I and my father's house have sinned. We have acted very corruptly against you and have not kept the commandments, the statutes, and the rules that you commanded your servant Moses. Remember the word that you commanded your servant Moses, saying, if you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the peoples. But if you return to me and keep my commandments and do them, though your outcasts are in the uttermost parts of heaven, from there I will gather them and bring them to the place that I have chosen to make my name dwell there. They are your servants and your people, whom you have redeemed by your great power and by your strong hand. O Lord, let your ear be attentive to the prayer of your servant and to the prayer of your servants who delight to fear your name, and give success to your servant today, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. Now I was cupbearer to the king. Nehemiah chapter 2. Nehemiah sent to Judah in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was before him. I took up the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had not been sad in his presence. And the king said to me, why is your face sad, seeing you are not sick? This is nothing but sadness of the heart. Then I was very much afraid. I said to the king, let the king live forever. Why should not my face be sad when the city, the place of my father's graves, lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire? Then the king said to me, what are you requesting? So I prayed to the God of heaven, and I said to the king, if it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, that you send me to Judah, to the city of my father's graves, that I may rebuild it. And the king said to me, the queen sitting beside him, how long will you be gone, and when will you return? So it pleased the king to send me when I had given him a time. And I said to the king, if it pleases the king, let letters be given me to the governors of the province beyond the river, that they may let me pass through until I come to Judah. And a letter to Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest, that he may give me timber and make beams for the gates of the fortress of the temple, and for the wall of the city, and for the house that I shall occupy. And the king granted me what I asked, for the good hand of my God was upon me. Nehemiah inspects Jerusalem's walls. Then I came to the governors of the province beyond the river, and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent with me officers of the army and horsemen. But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite servant heard this, it displeased them greatly that someone had come to seek the welfare of the people of Israel. So I went to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. Then I arose in the night, I and a few men with me, and I told no one what my God had put into my heart to do for Jerusalem. There was no animal with me, but the one on which I rode. I went out by night by the valley gate to the dragon spring and to the dung gate, and I inspected the walls of Jerusalem that were broken down and its gates that had been destroyed by fire. Then I went on to the fountain gate and to the king's pool, but there was no room for the animal that was under me to pass. Then I went up in the night by the valley and inspected the wall, and I turned back and entered by the valley gate, and so returned. And the officials did not know where I had gone or what I was doing, and I had not yet told the Jews, the priests, the nobles, the officials, and the rest who were to do the work. Then I said to them, you see the trouble we are in, how Jerusalem lies in ruins with its gates burned? Come, let us build the wall of Jerusalem, that we may no longer suffer derision. And I told them of the hand of my God that had been upon me for good, and also of the words that the king had spoken to me. And they said, Let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for the good work. But when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite servant and Geshem the Arab heard of it, they jeered at us and despised us and said, "What is this thing that you are doing? Are you rebelling against the king?" Then I replied to them, "The God of heaven will make us prosper, and we, his servants, will arise and build, but you have no portion or right to claim in Jerusalem."